Onward now with Greater LA on KCRW. Steve Chiotakis here. And before you leave us today, you know, the Southland is known to the world as its entertainment capital, but it's also the capital of so many other things. Helicopters and police chases, god-awful traffic, sports champions, well, not this year, and great food. And while the Wolfgang Pucks and Gordon Ramsays of the world get their famous restaurants noticed all over the place, there are mom and pops, hole-in-the-wall places, food trucks that don't. Well, that's where the Hood Foodie comes in. Alexander Orozco started an Instagram a few years back to pay tribute to food spots off the beaten path in neighborhoods from the Valley to all over Los Angeles, and he's amassed tens of thousands of followers all along the way. But the journey to get there hasn't been easy, including bouts of depression and even the thought of taking his own life. And the Hood Foodie himself joins us right now to talk all about it. Hey, HF.
Yeah, what's up, familia? What's up, man? How you guys doing?
You didn't originally set out to get an Instagram account and start shooting videos at different restaurants and taco stands and everywhere else across Los Angeles. You were doing something else, right?
Oh, no, yeah, I was lost. At 36, I didn't, I thought I was done. I didn't see any direction. I didn't have a career. I got tired. It's how they say it. Like people can try to push you, but it's not until you decide that you want things done a different way that, shit happens. So it's like, for me, I got tired. One of my things was I needed to get away from alcohol because it played a huge role in my household. It basically took out my dad. So, and, I was a binge drinker. Now I'm 6 years sober.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you, friend. It was bad. It was bad. Like, I would start drinking. I wouldn't end till 6 a.m. I would, crashes, jail. Dude, one day, I got woken up at the Jack in the Box in San Fernando by the cops at the drive-through window. I was knocked out waiting for my food.
Yeah.
So, then, I started, training myself. And from one day to the next, I stopped drinking. And then I took it, upon myself. I was like, this is probably the time for me to start working on myself, period. So went to a psychiatrist. They diagnosed me with bipolar depression. First time that I took medication. And a week later, I found myself at work at lunchtime, inside my truck, contemplating suicide due to the side effects of the medication. And the only reason why I didn't drive off was because there were so many cars in the parking lot that we double parked. So God knows what would have happened if that vehicle wasn't in front of me. And then it was already difficult as it was that, I had to call my wife and tell her, hey, babe, like, I'm over here trying to take my life away. That wasn't easy on its own. She was like, please stay where you're at, till the end of the day that, till I can get you some help. And yeah, sure enough, I ended up at Mission Community Hospital in the hood of Panorama City on a 5152 hold. And all they were doing was just feeding me meds. And for months, I was a cabbage. Because of the side effects. I had my kids on one ear, my wife on another, like, come back to us. We love you. Be your happy self again. Social media was hitting hard. And Instagram just started. So then I was like, you know what? I think I was looking, unconsciously, I was looking for an outlet to kind of distract me from everything that I had just gone through. So it just so happens I was like, dude, I could probably take pictures and post them and see what happens.
But were you thinking of pictures of food?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, food. Yeah. But it just so happens that I was at Lenchitas in Pacoima, Carrillos in San Fernando, like all these little mom and pop shops. And then right away, I get kicked out to LA, the mecca of the foodie world. And we start blowing it up there. Certifying restaurants, creating dishes with the people I was helping support.
When somebody watches one of your videos, what do you want them to know? What do you want them to see? Is it about you? Is it about the community?
I want to highlight the beauty of the hood. People somehow see me as a motivational speaker or I inspire people. Some people look at me as a mentor. Nobody is doing it like we're doing it. And I feel like we're the biggest Latino foodie. No, it's just me, myself, and I.
You just go out with your phone
my
and
wife
take
actually
videos?
helps. Yeah. Sometimes I'll show up to places like, oh man, like where's all the production crew? I'm like, oh, I have it right here in my hand. I'm ready to go. But
and your wife helps you
I have
too.
to give credit. Yeah, I have to give credit where credit is due. My wife is my videographer. I mean, I've gone through so many, and she's always, for some reason, the one that always captures the essence. So yeah, she's my go-to.
What's your favorite food? What is it you can't go without?
I grew up with Mexican, so I have to. I mean, Mexican for me it's the nostalgic, but caldo de res, carne en su jugo. For me, dude, lengua. Oh shit, man! Like the other day, we went to. My cousin took me to a spot in Pacoima, right? What was it? Restaurante Marias. Dude, that was like I was looking through the menu and it just popped out. Lengua. I was like, oh man, I gotta try this. Dude, small, hole in the wall place. Like it seemed like everybody like knew each other's name, because even like the waitress already knew people's orders, and like very, very, casero, like, like homey.
Yeah, I want to ask you about a taco truck that you visited recently too. It's a place called Chief's Tacos. Rick Ganavet is the guy known as Chief, and he runs this taco truck that he parks right outside of his antique store. That sounds like a pretty unusual combination. Tell us about Rick.
Food has always been in his blood. He actually had a dream 10 years ago to actually start up a taco stand. But, the opportunity came up of owning the antique store. Like many, many stories that I've heard in many of these hoods, is that the pandemic actually pushed a lot of people to, people are living out their dreams now. And one of them was Chief.
What kind of tacos is he making in Whittier, and why is it so popular?
They are known for the quesadilla frita. It's basically a deep fried quesadilla, and they just stuff it with cheese and so the traditional way that they do it is either chicharrón or chicken. But he gives you the option to do carne asada. But no, like that day, I had to try the chicharrón. Oh man, it was bomb, fam. It was bomb.
God, dog.
They're authentic, traditional tacos. Everything made from scratch. I mean, you get high quality meats, but not only that, man, you get the love.
I want to thank you for coming on. Alexander Orozco, the Hood Foodie. You can find him on Instagram at Thehoodfoodie. Thank you, my friend.
Nah, man, thank you guys, because you guys are giving me a voice. And tell them that the Hood Foodie sent you.
You just did. Actually, you just did, Hood Foodie.